And hello and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for the season premiere of Krypton on Sci-Fi. Now, Krypton is supposed to be the story of Superman's great grandfather and of course his great grandfather as well. So when I first heard about the show, I was like, okay, a show about Krypton could be interesting. Maybe before, Jor-El warns everybody about the explosion, all that stuff that leads into Superman going to Earth. Now, this is basically a story about his grandfather, which, okay, what can this be about? So, apparently, in this show, you have Jor-El, apparently, who is the grandfather of Superman, who is the father of Jor-El, who's not born yet at this point because he's practically a teenager or a young man at this point. And, he finds out that his family has been deranked. Apparently what happened was his grandfather before him, Superman's great-grandfather, apparently was convicted of treason and was sent off to exile or death or whatever it is. And they lost their rank. So the House of El lost their rank and they were forced out of Kandor and living in, I guess, the slums, if you want to call it, of Krypton. So now we move forward to seeing Jor-El's father young. He's kind of like this young rebellious teenager kind of person who just likes to do his own thing, but he still lives in the slums with his parents. Technically, Superman's grandparents. And, things start to happen. There's apparently a threat coming to Krypton, and nobody wants to believe anybody about it. Apparently, this young mysterious man comes out of nowhere, seeking him, telling him listen, your grandson is Superman, and this threat is coming to destroy his existence, and we need your help to basically stop him. And this threat coming is Brainiac. Now, Brainiac is basically one of Superman's coolest and most opponents, where he collects knowledge, he collects planets, and he just studies them and just keeps them in his little collection. And in the comics, he actually shrinks Kandor and he puts it in a little glass container like a cookie jar, and he keeps it there and he studies it, and that's what happened to Kandor. And so basically the gist of this show so far is basically we're gonna see Superman's grandfather try to stop Brainiac from coming to Krypton and probably destroying or taking Kandor for knowledge. Gotta say, for the first pilot, it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was just okay. The story, it's for me personally, it's hard to say. Oh, this is I keep thinking the main star is Jor-El because we've seen so many versions of Superman where we see his father, whether it's Smallville, whether it's Supergirl, we see Jor-El so many times it's hard to keep up. And this is basically about his grandfather before Jor-El was even born, before he meets Laura, his wife and all that stuff. Before all that, so like I said, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give the show a shot. It's just the first episode. I'll watch it, see how it goes. I am concerned though that we might not even see Brainiac in this entire show. We probably just see him, but in his ship the entire time. I don't think he's gonna come to Krypton itself and actually fight with Superman's grandfather. I mean, that's just my big worry about the show. I mean, for all I know, they can cancel it next week. And also, this is that's the type of show that a lot of comic book geeks in the world, I'm one of them, that won't really know about. You know what I mean? The show is kind of slow and explains certain things, but hopefully people can understand it and actually watch it. Besides the nerds who are all of us who like this kind of stuff. But even for me, I found it was way too out there. I mean, they showed things in here. I was like, okay, that's a little too early to be showing this stuff. I mean, they showed the Fortress of Solitude, and I guess that's how Superman gets the idea for the name. It was just kind of okay. We got reference of Ra, which is basically their god leader. And that reminds me of Superman and the Book of Ra, which comes later on in life. But so far so good. I just feel like they shouldn't be pushing so much of the Superman mythology into us. Even in Gotham, sometimes I feel like, yeah, when Gotham does it, they push all the moments that here's Batman, here's all his secret things. He's got a little secret cave that eventually will become the Bat Cave, you know. I feel like the same thing's gonna happen with here, where we're gonna get Superman stuff. We're gonna see, oh, this eventually becomes Kal-El's thing, and then eventually he turns it into the Signal Watch or whatever it is gonna be. I just hope they focus on Superman's grandfather and how he has to struggle, not only being a leader and being who he is, but also eventually raising the son that we all know who he is, Jor-El, and how he becomes a political figure in Krypton as well before it dire moments. And, you know, for Brainiac, not bad. I kind of figured he was going to be at the very end of this episode, but I just hope he does something other than just sit in his little fortress that he has, which is basically his skull ship, which is very cool. But yeah, I just hope he does something. Let's see. I mean, moving forward, I don't expect him to be in all the episodes, but hopefully by the end of the season, we'll start seeing him in Kandor or in Krypton. And that's another thing about Kandor. We know, if you guys know the comic books, he ends up taking Kandor anyway. So what's going to be the gist of this? Him stopping him the first time? Maybe he goes away and then years later he takes it back. I don't know. I mean, all I know is that Kandor eventually gets taken. I mean, they can change it. They can make it. Kandor never got shrunk anyway. But let's see what happens. So I'll give it a shot. I'll see what next week's episode is about. But not bad for a first start. I just hope certain little things they can fix on it. And the CG was cool. Krypton looked great too. I liked how Krypton looked. Had that dark color to it. Like, remind me of Man of Steel. But also had that nice little colorful flavor that Supergirl has when we see her version of it. So it's not too bad. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. If you saw it. And are you guys even interested in this whole Krypton show? And what do you guys expect out of it? Do you expect to see this? That? I mean, this also has time travel apparently. So maybe this is the future Brainiac. He's just going back in time to stop Superman from even being born. Which is possible. But let's see. Maybe we'll even see Superman flashbacks if they even have it here. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought. Thank you very much and have a good day.